What's up, you guys? Sasha Boss here, and today he's hanging out with Thor. Okay, I'm just joking. Today's video is all about Black Panther Wakanda Forever spoiler review. So this is my spoiler review over Wakanda Forever. This is a movie that I reviewed yesterday for non-spoilers, so it's day 2. This is the spoiler talk, where I want to talk everything about spoilers for this movie. So if you have not seen Wakanda Forever, jump back on Disney Plus and watch Thor: Love and Thunder, or go to the theater and watch Black Panther 2. Just get off this video right now. I don't want to spoil you, or if you don't want to watch that, check out another video right here, which I'm making. It's a really good video, the Thor, Ravager Thor video. So watch that or watch something else. Come back when you guys seen the film. Well, let's go into the spoilers. Okay, guys, spoilers are starting in 3, 2, 1. Spoilers! Okay, here's a quick recap of our plot of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. The whole plot of this film is really simple. It takes place at a nation of mourning, which is Wakanda. Wakanda is healing over the loss of their beloved king, T'Challa. And the whole film just is filled with emotions and thrills and just adventure. It's just a really nice film that has to feel like how a healing nation is recovering from a great, tremendous loss, almost like England with the Queen's death. So it's following a nation like that, where Shuri and the Queen of Wakanda are all put in this amazing adventure, where they have to deal with another Iranian problem, which is the underwater seas of Namor, which is the city of Tukin. The city of Tukin. So that's pretty much the gist of that plot as a recap. So going in forward to this, put this in full drive. Before we talk about any of the characters, I gotta say this. Going into this movie, the first 3 seconds were sadder than the moments of Up. You know, like Tony Stark's death? It was literally like that. But I'm like, no. When I saw T'Challa's casket, I'm like, oh no. It's really sad. But the movie really started like this with emotions. You know that launch feature in Roller Coaster? It goes all the way up to the lift hill and drops you. It's almost like that. Like, and you got almost to the speedway. So that's pretty much the first 3 seconds for me. I'm like, okay. Man. Before I talk about any of my emotions about this film, let's get into the characters. Starting off with Shuri. Shuri is incredible, guys. In this film, this is probably my most favorite adaptations of Shuri, just because she's so distraught and just doesn't know where to go after she couldn't find a cure to save T'Challa, which I thought was really emotional, just really sad, just really hit home. There's like some moments with Shuri that actually just made me lose my mind. I literally cried, just thinking about her and T'Challa and just the relationship they once had together, and there always will be. I know the fictional character, I really feel like I've really related to both of them, and it just really feels like I'm really at home, just understanding with their family dynamics. Not just the family dynamics, it's just like how she grown up over the years, and just the post-credit scene with her was by far one of my favorite scenes in the film, and just it literally had me eyeballing. I was literally crying, and my whole hands were shaking after watching the movie. I'm like, I have not felt that in a long time. But overall, Shuri's performance was just a spectacular character, and I just really want to see where she's going next as she dons the Black Panther. Also, her inventions in this film were really cool. This was really cool to see all of her inventions and from gadgets she has created, and I don't know, I just thought this was pretty cool to see. Going in with our next character, we're going to talk about the one and only Queen of Wakanda. The Queen of Wakanda, guys, was incredible. She definitely has one of the most Oscar-worthy performances of this year. She just was really cool as a supporting actress, and her monologue towards the middle of the film, where she's like talking about how much she lost sweet T'Challa and her daughter, just all of her family, her husband. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, dang, she went through a lot, and I felt so bad. I never seen this aggression come out of this sweet queen type of character, and she's super like very honest, but she's like very distraught and just bothersome of what to do in the events of T'Challa's death, and she just was really depicted really well and just very beautiful, and I don't know, it's beautiful in every way. Next up is Nakia. Nakia was actually Chadwick's wife, not the real wife, but of Chadwick Boseman. It's the wife of the character T'Challa, and she just was really, she just played just a beautiful role of just her work in Haiti, and just almost like her discovering what she wants to do next, because I think she's actually the only one that survived the blip, so she's like walking in her own shoes, just trying to help out humanity as best as possible, and it's just really hard for her to go back to her homeland just because of what went on with her. Overall, great performance. Next up is one of my absolute favorite characters, one of my newer favorite characters, M'Baku and Agent Ross were alright. They're nothing too special to talk about them, but Agent Ross could probably set up something with the Thunderbolts, and I think it'd be kind of cool to see that. But Akue, it's actually my favorite character in the whole entire film besides Namor. Akue, it just was so much fun to watch. She was funny. She has some really nice hand-to-hand combat moments, and I don't know, she just was really cool to see. I'm hoping she actually gets her own Disney Plus show eventually, just because I'd love to see a life of Wakandan warrior, and I just love how she's just always with Wakanda no matter what. Her heart is always built in the blood by the soil of the Wakandan land, and just protecting the kingdom and just protecting everything. I just really like that aspect about the character. And she's also really grown up so much since Endgame. Next character we're going to talk about is Shiri Williams. Not Shiri Williams. What's her name? I'm going to say Ironheart. So Ironheart in this film just blew me away. Just like the technology, she's like smarter than Tony Stark. Like Tony's Mark 1 barely lasted that much flight time compared to Ironheart. Like Ironheart was insane. Like her technology and where she's thinking, she's almost like a homegrown superhero, almost like Tony did when he first made Iron Man. Even though she does not have an arc reactor, but she's kind of working on an arc reactor. It's really cool, and she does not get to keep. I'm really disappointed why she didn't get to keep the Iranian one. I understand why, but I just wish she kept that. I thought it was a really cool suit, really bad butt, and she just was so much fun. She made a lot of good pop culture references, similar to Peter Quill, so I just maybe see that team up eventually, but I really crossed my fingers to see a Kamala Khan and Ironheart team up in New York, so I think it'd be a lot of fun to see that. But overall, a really nice introduction. I just can't wait to see what's down the road. Next up is Namor, the highlight of the film, like the favorite character of mine. Can't wait to get the Marvel Legends figure of Namor, which is like right back there with his Thor. But I just gotta say, Namor blew me away. His underwater CGI, his whole way he flooded Wakanda, it just was a really empowering villain that has pros and cons on why he's doing this to Wakanda. He just wants vengeance because his homeland's kind of dying. He's trying to make an alliance with Wakanda, but he actually wants war, so it's almost untrustworthy, almost like an anti-hero, which was super neat to see that play out in this film. One thing I gotta say about Namor, in my opinion, this is probably one of my favorite moments in the entire film. This line right here says, "I'm a mutant," and I literally was smiling ear to ear, hearing the words, "I'm a mutant. The X-Men are coming. Let's go!" Yes, the X-Men are definitely out there. They could be coming. I'm not sure what the full defiance of a mutant is in the MCU, so we gotta figure out what the heck that entails there. But Namor's fight sequences were insane. His whole depiction of how he's the ruler of his homeland, his last generations, and his whole origin story, it was almost like similar to Gore the God Butcher a little bit, where it was very depressing, and it just was very out there, and I thought they did really well covering the comics adaptation to that, which was cool. And just Namor, just a super fun villain, probably my new favorite villain since Thanos. You know, Thanos was super cool, but every time Namor was on the screen, kicking butt, or in the city of Tulkin, I just was loving it. The underwater stuff was cool, and he actually has a sense of humor, and I don't know, he just was super fun, super fun. Okay guys, so those are all the characters I could think of about this movie, but overall right now, I'm going to talk about things I just really appreciate about the movie. The line, "I'm a mutant," that monologue, the Queen. Anytime that Shiri Williams can beat Tony Stark, just has all my eyes like glued to the screen. I'm like, whoa! He's like that faster than Tony. I'm like, holy cow. I was kind of surprised on that too. And also the Thunderbolts are kind of depicted almost with like what's going on. It's almost like a lot of corruption in society, which I'm like, I like that. I like the darker tones of the MCU, which I like more of the obscure stuff as well. So I like the more political approach of different things. So I think that's a cool thing. I just really like how it really honored Chadwick Boseman. That's one of my favorite takeaways of the film. It just was almost like love letter to Chadwick Boseman. Like in the credits says to our friend Chadwick Boseman. It really plays homage to his character growth throughout the Infinity War and Endgame. It just felt really sad. Just because Chadwick Boseman, aka Black Panther, has to be one of my favorite superheroes. He just was so overpowering, and he just has so much generosity, and he just is a really humble man. T'Challa was. He just was super cool. He gives back by different things. He's just a really good role model to follow. Black Panther, just his ways, how he does things, just really makes me happy, and I just love diversity, and he does a really good job with it. I'm really missing Chadwick. So I know everybody's in the same boat. I'm gonna ramble on for this long. Okay. So those are pretty much all the things I just really like. Action sequences, Namor in general, like I said in the last one. Any gripes I have? No, not so seriously. I gotta say, this is probably the most emotional I ever got since Tony Stark's death. Just T'Challa in general, just an empowering character, just a character I just really look up to, and it was amazing. I literally cried through the beginning, middle, and end. It's a tearjerker. It's a really nice, beautiful message about there's always light even in the darkest moment. So there's always light, always find light, and I just can't wait to see what's next for the MCU. So all in all, the spoiler talk is over. I gotta say, this movie, with all the spoilers I could give to it, just was amazing. Especially the name reveal of T'Challa at the very end. I'm just like, oh, that was so sweet. It almost felt like Thor: Love and Thunder. That's why I got my Chris Hemsworth figure with Love, which is really cool. Which is actually Chris Hemsworth's daughter. So it just had a really wholesome message, and I thought it was just really beautiful written, and I just can't believe I cried that much since Endgame. It is one of those movies that I thought like Marvel did really good. So out of all three of them that they released probably this year, I gotta say this in my order. Originally, it was always Spider-Man No Way Home this year. By far, Wakanda Forever. He's my favorite out of the ones that released. So it's Wakanda Forever, Spider-Man No Way Home, and then Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, and Eternals. So that's how I rank all of them. And Wakanda Forever for me is personally a 10 out of 10. And just an immaculate masterpiece, an Oscar worthy, just like the original one. And I gotta mention this before I left it. One thing I just really liked about this movie is an inclusion back of the one fan favorite character, which is a character I'm not expecting to see in this film, which is Killmonger. I want to say something about Killmonger. Killmonger was breathtaking, and just Sherry's emotions with Killmonger about how she wanted to burn the world. I like that about that rage. Eventually, she felt the queen in the ancestral planes, which is cool. The whole flood sequence was just really sad. It felt like Order 66. It just was very sad. It just very depressing. It's hard to fathom what went on in Wakanda. So, all in all, this movie was a 10 out of 10. It's always a treat to see Killmonger, and I just really want to see where he goes up for next with that. But all in all, I just can't wait for Thunderbolts. I just can't wait to see what's next for Quantumania. I'm really excited to see all the mutants and in this franchise. I just can't wait to see how the franchise will grow with new obscure characters coming. And I just love how this movie was not too stupid or silly. It just was perfect. The spacing was really good, and it had some humor with Shiri Williams, which I really like. I thought it was overall a success, and I highly recommend it to all Marvel fans. So thank you guys for tuning in. Leave your comments, any questions, leave likes, and please hit the subscribe buttons. And let me know what you guys think over Wakanda Forever.